So data prerequisites. So when we're using GenAI, the best part is that you can use diverse kind of data. When you don't necessarily have to go only with the structured data, you could use the audio, video, images, PDFs, whatever data you have, you can throw at it. Then what comes is if you have whatever data you throw at it, you would have everything over there, and you really need to focus on the quality of the data that you're throwing at it. And that's where the important part comes is that the files are unique, that you don't have duplications, that you're preparing it for the GenAI. And also you want to see that the lineage of the unstructured data, where the data is coming from, whether you're getting it from Twitter or from Facebook. And then in that case, what is the quality of data again? So those are some of the things you have to kind of keep in mind when you're doing it. And that's where the curation part comes in. So you're labeling the files, you kind of see where the lineage is, where the data is coming from, how important is the data, whether you can use it or not, and the quality of data. Also, where you can use the data. Is it for conversation part? Then maybe you can look at your Twitter data and see how people are conversing, and then you can see the sensitivity analysis and all. However, if you want to do the know your customer, the different kind of data you will be using. So just to keep in mind that the data prerequisite and the data preparation part is important. And another part we also see is we have two kind of data. We have the classification, say structured data, and we also have the unstructured data, as I talked to you before, and then how you will be using this data for your models. Now, important part about even the structured data. Now, structured data is something you have consciously collected. You know what you're collecting. When you're using this structured data, the important part comes is the PII part, is that you will have a lot of PII, personal information data in your files, and want to make sure that you either remove them, mask it, redact it, whatever your policy is. Also, you might have your privacy and security data, your policy data about your organization and all. Everything is in S3 in different kind of buckets, but you want to see which data you want to use for actual GenAI training and what data you're giving to your data scientists as well for using it for tests and everything. Another important part is storage and accessibility. So where you're keeping your data, you could be getting your data from all over the world, but if your models are being trained in, say, North America and North Virginia, you're using the data that is in Ireland, you will be getting the egress cost also. So these are some of the things you want to keep in mind when you are using the data. So just the prerequisite part. Extremely important is the security measures. So if you're using a GenAI app, you're preparing a GenAI app, like a regular app, you would be doing the authentication and secure the infrastructure and all those parts. You'll be also looking at the encrypting your data and separating the data, PII data and the regular data and all. However, when you start using GenAI, there are certain things you need to keep in mind is you want to protect your data against prompt injection and encrypt and separate the data. So that's where the extra security measure you need to take in account. Now, also the bias and toxicity, as I was pointing out before, is that the data that GenAI has collected has some biases because say it was collected in North America and it has only information and knowledge about the people in North America. There will be biases if you are using it in another part of the world. And as we have so we have to put in place different guardrails to take care of this kind of security issues that come up.